Right, Willow, we're going to go live, yeah?
Yeah.
No, you got to be professional.
Yeah.
Can you go and cross your eyes?
Yeah.
Good girl.
Wait,
Right.
do you want me to cross my eyes?
I want you to uncross them. Stop looking like that. Stop it.
Okay.
You can't watch both monitors at the same time. Right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2. Hello, folks. 9 o'clock UK time, Sunday night. Stop it. Yeah, and it is live from the living room. Yeah, I am here with my co-host, the Willow of the Pillows.
Me, the host, you're the co-host.
It's going to be one of those shows. Now, I did open the Google Doc early. Yeah, that means I've already got questions if I meander across my screens. Yeah, I've got 6 questions already. The Google Doc is linked down below. Just dip down below, hit the Google Doc link. You don't need to be logged in. Just leave your screen name, what platform you're on, and leave a question there. It can be a book-related question. It can be a channel-related question, or it can be a terrain-related question. I like those.
Or a question to me.
Or a Willow-related question, yes. I see loads of people shouting Happy Easter. It's not a Happy Easter. Dad didn't get an egg.
You're not having mine, I only got one.
You actually got more than that. They just didn't make it through the night. We tried. That's one way of getting her off the show.
Don't you know I'm going to hoard the show now?
You're going to haunt the show now. I see people on, to YouTube, hey up, Jez. Yeah, Maurizio, hello, buddy. Odin, James, Arkham, Steve, Angela, Max. Loads of people are in tonight and chatting. We'll let it warm up a little. Oh, Steve saying he's made it on time for once. Me too. I'm not bad.
You mean I had to tell you when we're starting?
Yeah, Willow gave me a countdown. I'll be honest with you guys, yeah. I'm still in recovery mode from the Kickstarter. There's a real chocolate Easter egg in the mail for you, Mel.
No, that's mine. He ate mine.
No, that's from Odin. Now remember, Odin's the one who sent us reindeer chips, Rudolph chips. So we've got to be careful about when he says there's a real chocolate egg coming for you. It could have come out of reindeer's bum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you never know with Odin. I'm quite looking forward to it because those reindeer chips were delicious. Oh, pardon me. Yes. I'm pretty much over my concrete now. I picked up a bit of a chest infection, thrown that pretty much. My back's getting there. I should be okay for the show. I'm still knackered, aren't I?
But his butt's hurt.
Thanks, Wills. Thanks, mate. Yeah, as part of my rehabilitation, getting me back into useful. Yeah, you started me doing something, haven't you? What have we started doing?
Bike rides.
Yeah, we started bike riding again because the sun's out. Yeah? And could Dad sit down when he was bike riding today?
No.
Why not?
Because his butt was too achy from yesterday.
Yeah. I've got achy butt, which is not ideal. But we had a good bike ride anyway.
Yeah.
But at the end of that, yeah, I was knackered. I went for a quick daddy nap for what? An hour?
And then I ran in screaming, help me, because there was a bumblebee in my room.
Yeah, that woke me up. And then I fell asleep. Hello, lovely.
Hello, baby.
Kerry is avoiding the camera tonight because she is in chill mode. One more week to go, Duck.
One more week to go.
Right, if you have followed along on the channel and that sort of stuff, you'll know I put out a vlog basically talking about what I've been doing with the book this week and that sort of stuff. It's mainly been recovery.
You've still been working. You're supposed to have been having a week off and you have not had a week off, have you? Jace told me to make sure you had a week off. And you didn't.
There's work to do, there's bills to pay.
Even so, Jace and Dave both told me to make sure that you had time off work and you didn't.
Listen, if you carry on,
So,
I'm going to point this camera your
so,
direction. Oh, look,
Jace, tell him. Tell him.
she's getting fearless now, even the camera doesn't scare her. Right. Let's have a nose at some of the comments. James is saying, I got off work early today so I can have a great Easter. Was able to catch the full show for once. Welcome, buddy. Yeah, Patrick saying hi for greetings from Fulton, Kentucky. Hello, mate.
Wow.
Max is saying yes. The Kickstarter was something. Congrats! It certainly was. I have 170 pages to fill. Yeah, that's been a lot of my work. This this sort of week figuring out.
On one page, he's gonna write "but" wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
Thanks, darling. Thank you for your confidence.
You're very welcome.
Right, Cat saying hello. Will you stop that as well?
Hey, thanks, Mum.
I can see why you ran off, woman. Keep running. Don't you stick your tongue out at me.
No, I asked to do that.
You see, I get it from the boy, I get it from her, and I get it from the wife. And it's no wonder it looks like that. Buck's finally figured out how this live stream on YouTube works. That's quite cool because he's on Facebook. Congratulations on the massive Kickstarter, Mel. Thank you. Massively successful Kickstarter, Mel. Thank you, buddy. Really happy for you and extremely excited and can't wait for February. Hopefully sooner if everything goes as planned. Yeah. If everything goes brilliantly, yeah. Well, if everything goes as planned, we'll be delivering in February. If everything goes brilliantly, maybe we deliver early. But we're delivering on February, and that's what I'm sticking to. Just don't write right to left. I don't, but I am left-handed. But I've been experimenting with, speech to text for my writing and stuff like that.
Well, isn't that where you say something and then it's wrote down?
Yeah. So I'm going to dictate my book. So you don't have to sit there typing at the computer anymore.
Yeah, my RE teacher's son is one of them. People just talk to him and then he'll make like tiny notes and he can read back what you said perfectly.
Right, that's something differently. That's someone with a...
Different grammar. If you're going to write a book, you need to know how to do grammar correctly.
Oh, God.
I can annoy you with this now.
That's the problem with her actually being taught English. Yeah. She actually understands grammar and punctuation because she's learning it. Which means she's the worst person to have over your shoulder while you're editing. Aren't you? With your cup of tea, your cold cup of tea.
It's not cold. I've just had nice hotly, so I made it boiling.
Right, this is... I've spotted my first... What's this? Mel's writing a book? Yeah, where have you been the past 6 weeks, dude? With your accent. Check out Thick It Works for inspiration for Willow and Doll's Houses Miniatures. I think you've mentioned those before. Slightly sunburnt from working on the allotment today. Oh, I know that one. We were out bike riding, weren't we? You got really upset, didn't you? Yeah, because what can Dad do?
Speed.
What else can Dad do?
No. Okay, can I tell you a story?
Yeah, well, is it a true story? You're going to make it up as you go along?
No. I'm going to...
So it's not a true story?
No, it is.
Oh, it is a true story?
Yeah.
All right. She'll be making it up as she goes along, this true story. But let's listen.
No, you can say that it was true because you know you were there twice.
I hope I was there at least once, but go on.
So, we went on a biking trip with Mum, Corbin, Dad and me.
This is last year?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
We were going down a steep hill.
I was talking about today.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that.
Oh, you're going to get to that? Oh, yeah, okay.
And Corbin takes off both his hands and adjusts his helmet. So mine gets achy, so I tried to do that. I was a beginner. I flung into a nettle bush.
Yeah, she was moving at the time. Yeah? And it wasn't a nettle bush, it was a bramble bush.
No, there were nettles and brambles.
Oh, okay. So, why did you get upset with Dad today?
Because he tried to be a complete and utter clown.
Really? Really?
Not putting his knees on it, taking off his hands and doing this as he's just pedaling along the hill.
Yes,
Complete
Willow
idiot.
discovered that Dad has the ability to ride a bike without holding onto the handlebars. And so for the entire ride back, which was moderately downhill, Dad was... I'm having a great time, you know, getting a bit of wind in the armpits, you know what I mean, cooling off.
Okay, next
It
time...
was hot, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, next time you're doing that, I'm coming up behind you and pushing you off.
You can't even catch up with me when I'm doing that. Radwell saying, how do you like being famous? I prefer infamous. I did bump into my first trip out of the house since the Kickstarter, my first sort of like venture into the real world, taking you guys up to an ice cream bar.
Someone noticed him. Wow.
Yeah, so literally I got approached by a backer. I'd not gone out the car. We'd been out the car, what, a minute? Walking into town? And we got stopped by a backer. So if you're watching tonight, mate, hello, buddy. Sorry I was a bit sort of dumbstruck. I wasn't expecting it.
And they didn't even realise me first. I was the face of this Kickstarter.
Have mercy on the proofreader if Mel does voice to text.
Yeah.
Cat. Will the voice to text actually recognise his accent? I tried one and it failed to understand my Geordie accent. I think I'm quite understandable.
No, you're not.
The egg has nothing to do with reindeers. It comes from eggs we normally come from. You see, this is the concerning thing with Odin. He's got an ostrich. That was good.
That timing was perfect.
That was.
I do want to pull that up and just look at that timing again.
We'll have to clip it.
Yeah.
Okay, voice to text is managed by gremlins. The family of I has saved a list of some of the most unique ones. Some very odd things happen sometimes. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Infamous Mel. That's a bit more right, Jez. That's a bit more right, buddy. So, what are you building as a break from the book?
I'm not famous.
My plan for building as a break from the book is my Burma board. Yeah, I'm going to be playing a lot of games, messing a lot with jungle and stuff like that, because it's an easy one for me to mess with, if you know what I mean.
Now swap round to my freezing ice lolly.
Say again?
Now swap round to my freezing ice lolly.
You're swapping between a hot tea and you watch an ice lolly?
Yeah.
You're a freak at times. But no, my Burma build's going to be what keeps me busy. I see our Jason in the in the chat. Hello, buddy.
James,
No ostrich either. That would be cool.
Guys, can someone just go and clip that timing quickly and send it to us?
Someone on Twitch will do it. We've got one person on Twitch. Hello, buddy. Our soul twitcher. Right, let me have a look at these Google questions. We've got 10 questions, so shall we get stuck in?
Do you think any of them are Willow questions?
Well, we won't know.
Well, let's get started.
Well, let's get started. Okay, Druid. Mel, when are you going to release a video of your salute visit, especially the tables there? That should be out on Tuesday, mate. I've scheduled to finish the edit up tomorrow. Yeah, when Kez is at work. I should have it online, and it should be up Tuesday. So the salute video will be coming Tuesday. I imagine Adepticon videos maybe Thursday and next Tuesday. I've got a lot of footage of Adepticon. Yeah? And so...
Hi, Beth.
Is Beth in? Oh, Beth says hi, Wills. Jace's Beth and my Wills are brand new best friends, aren't you?
Uh-huh.
So anyway, yeah, salute footage on Tuesday. Adepticon probably Thursday.
Wow.
I want to get through them because they're like... The longer time goes on, the more distance from the actual events, and I want to get the footage up. Yeah, I think next year we'll have to look at a quicker processing method to get the videos up a bit quicker. It didn't help that, of course, I was literally in the middle of the Kickstarter when I was visiting them and recovering from Kickstarter just soon afterwards. But yeah, salute Adepticon this week coming, mate. Okay, Republican is asking... can you add a patron goal in order to afford something extra for Kez? She's definitely worth the treat for being such a supportive partner. I don't know about a patron goal, but tell you what we'll do. We're supposed to have a stream target.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, we hasn't got Mum an Easter egg. He's bad.
Oh, were you?
Hey.
Right, let's end that goal. Kez's treat.
Mum's gonna
I can't do a patron goal. Yeah, I can't really ask you guys to chip in for studio kit and stuff like that because I've just had a Kickstarter and my budget, yeah, for studio kit is here. Yeah, and this is just the DSLR and vlogging and book editing budget.
You meant to use the other side of that,
Yeah, I know, but it's cleaner to write on this. Yeah, I'll explain in a minute. But my budget at the minute, yeah, I'm budgeting about 10 grand for studio kit upgrades. And in the first one, in the first sort of initial Kickstarter money to help me do the book. What you call it? We've got the still not that much. Yeah, we've got DSLR for tethering kits, widescreen setups, Panasonic GH5, desk setups, home setups, a new chair, yeah, and a vlogging system plus build materials. That's about $4,500. So I don't really feel like I can ask you to like, look, can you give me 80 quid for a gimbal or something like that? Because I've now got a budget for it, and we're going to be gearing it all and doing a proper studio upgrade. So I think, yeah, we've got a new target. Why hasn't that come up? What have I done?
Dad, no, what have you done?
There you go.
The stream got boarded, Dad, so we just cancelled it all.
Yeah, end after, what should we say? End tomorrow. So,
TMR.
22.
Dad, it's the 4th today.
No, that's April, darling. This is an American time code.
Oh.
Why aren't you starting? Oh, I put the time code in wrong. No, that's right. Oh, you're not going to start, are you?
Why don't you just click done?
I'm trying to start a starting amount, 100 amount. Let's try that. I'll tell you what.
Dad, the stream's bored of you.
I know, it won't start. The goal won't start. Sod you.
Don't worry, the rest of Dad's money he can spend on a treat for Mum.
But yeah, if you'd like to treat the kids, links down below. You can send via PayPal or via what you call it, or via Streamlabs and do the funny screeny thing. Yeah, if it was working, our donation goal would be for the Kerry.
I have shrunk.
You shrunk, have you? Let's try that.
Oh, and I stuck something
No,
onto your board.
won't do it. Forget it. But if you'd like to do that, I'll check the phone. We'll keep an eye on the screen notifications and stuff like that. See if anyone does do anything like that. And I'll give Kerry a little treat. I'm not doing a patron goal for her. Right, next question.
We should do a Kickstarter for Mum.
Kickstart for Mum.
Try to raise £12 for a massive Easter egg.
Try and raise. How about we raise £500 and we buy her a pallet of what you call Maltesers? Can you imagine Mum with a pallet of Maltesers? 4 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot.
No. We need to get an egg that's that size, but with Maltesers in there out.
I think you should be happier with a pallet.
No.
There's a lot of hollow space in an egg. There's not much hollow space on a pallet.
No.
Mick saying, just wanted to say I'm working on a Cats of Ulthanar diorama for a friend. Your channel has helped me so much to upgrade my terrain skills. Awesome, buddy. Awesome. 10k on Yugi sounds like it'd be worth throwing some at someone that can show you the ropes. Skinny Fat Man has just said that. Yeah, actually, to be truthful, that is... Oh, Odin. A bit smaller this time since I bought some book and stuff lately. No worries, bud. No worries at all. I understand that one. Thank you. Yeah, a Skinny Fat Man saying 10k on new gear sounds like great, but you need someone to show you. That's part of the budget. I've got an audio guy coming up to show me the audio and stuff. I'm not doing what you call it. I'm not doing the camera upgrade, the video camera upgrade and the webcams until what you call it. Till August, and I have a friend who's sort of connected with the Warhammer Community TV team. We're not doing anything together. There's no plans or anything like that. But yeah, he's been good enough to sort of like, look, if you need some information, some guidance, you know, we can help you out, Mal. No, yeah, so massive props. So it's not officially the Warhammer team, but massive thank you for the Warhammer team who were over in Adepticon and helped me out, and also let me share their taxi on the way to the airport afterwards. Yeah. Right. So anyway, back to questions. So yeah, camera kit. There is a big budget on camera kit, but I'm doing it sensibly. Yeah, I mean, the camera kit and the stuff that I'm buying is all stuff that has been recommended to me by other people who are specialists in that field. Yeah, although I can tell you right now, yeah, that the Warhammer community team has spent at least £7,500 on their webcams for their live play. Because he told me what they were, and I looked them up, and they got 3 of them, and they're £2,500 each. I'm going to need another Kickstart for that.
Dad's mind is blown.
Two thin blokes. Right. Anonymous is asking, hey Mel, I was late to being the part of the Kickstarter. Is there any way to get the Train Essentials book PDF once it's finished? It'll be coming to retail probably about April next year, but in next sort of 3 weeks-ish, we'll open what's called Backer Kit, which is the pledge manager. And you can jump on in Backer Kit, so you can put in your orders there as well. So if you miss the Kickstarter completely, yeah, there's an opportunity in 3 weeks when Backer Kit will be open. It should stay open till we do pretty much the print run. So I'm reckoning probably September time, October time. So you've got a good few months to jump on it.
Unlike the 1 month Kickstarter.
Yeah, the Kickstarter was a bit mad. Oh, thank you, Pete. Pete's looking after my audio and he's pricing it all up. You'll have to let me know what a budget is for that, mate, so I can factor it in with next year. Have you considered getting a business internet connection? If it goes down, they have to get it working ASAP. It's not really relevant. We're on fibre here and it's pretty solid. Plus, I've got a lot of family in the city. So if I really need to get on a internet connection, I can get on an internet connection. On top of that, my internet at the studio isn't mine. It comes through the studio and it's a business account that's distributed across all 43 studios. And so, that's covered by business anyway.
Dad, can you still get those weird, what's it called again, filters?
What filters? The hats and stuff like that. No, they have to like pay for them and that sort of stuff. Right, I do need to check PayPal to make sure anyone who has thrown a couple of nuggets other than Arodin. Yeah. For treat Kerry. Did anyone? Oh.
Babe, check in your pocket for me.
Not me.
It's not you. Well, where's it?
I don't know. But it ain't
Wasn't it?
me. Well, it looks like we had a couple of nuggets thrown our way. Let me just shout these, then we'll jump back onto the questions. Shh, can I talk? Without you chipping in and singing and dancing and performing. You're lucky it's been recorded live. Right, only one today, Arodin. Thank you, buddy. Right, okay, so that was Anonymous's question. We've got 4 of 12 left. Remember, if you do have a terrain-related question for me, get it down below. Yeah? Okay, another book question. Will your book cover resins and how to make water bodies? Yes, it does cover resins. There will be ponds and modular rivers and waterfalls and fords and rapids and that sort of stuff. It does cover resin and tips for resin pouring and that sort of stuff. It doesn't cover oceans or beaches. That's not essential. But ponds and modular rivers are. Okay, next question. James is asking. Oh, it's a big question.
Wow. I guess you want me to read it?
Go on, then you read it.
Hi Mel, big congrats on the book.
No, you've got to project it properly for the audio.
Hi Mel, big congrats on the book. Can't wait for my copy of the PDF. My question isn't really about the book, but rather a terrain question. I got my hands on a lot of dry air clay, super cheap, and decided to make a castle with it by making a 3D printed mould for bricks. And I'm adding these bricks from 1-2
1/2 inch.
1/2 inch XPS foam to create the walls. I am currently using Loctite
Express
Express Power Grab all-purpose interior construction adhesive, and it doesn't seem to hold the greatest. Do you have any suggestions on a better adhesive for this?
Right. So what our James is doing is he's got an absolute mass of air dry clay. He's got a brick mould, yeah, and he's whacking the clay in to make brick moulds, and then he's gluing them onto a substructure made of XPS foam, extruded foam, the high density stuff. He's having trouble with the bricks sticking on, yeah, but I don't know Loctite Express Power Grab.
Super glue.
If it is a super glue, then what could be happening is it could be melting the foam away from the actual bricks, so there's nothing to actually grip. My suggestion...
PVA glue.
Yes. That is exactly my suggestion.
I can read your mind.
You just know I love PVA. But no, PVA glue. One, if you're using air drying clay, it will be porous. It'll soak in the PVA glue and grip to it. PVA glue definitely grips to XPS, so that would be my adhesive of choice. I would, whenever working with foam, I tend to avoid, what do you call it? I tend to avoid super glues, and I tend to avoid hot
Pritt
glues.
sticks.
I don't use Pritt stick with terrain making.
I do.
I'm sure you do. Yeah, but PVA will work really well. Yeah, I don't know Express Power Grab. I might have to get a tube of that and check it out. Maybe he's thinning it down too much. It should be alright. I don't know. Hey up, Gaz. It should be working, but I don't really know the product, so...
Hello, Gareth. I'm a bit late, but hello.
Over 100 people watching and 22 likes. Hit that like button, people.
Can you put back on the normal screen?
Which screen?
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah. As you can see, we have 105 people watching on YouTube.
We do. 105 people watching.
And
Hello,
5
folks.
people
Calls.
watching on Twitch. I'm getting used to the hand.
Are you getting used to the hand?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Zingbo, watching on YouTube. What's the best adhesive for bonding MDF and PVC board? Ooh. Yeah. Also, if I'm allowed a second question, I occasionally hear terrain builders talk about Mod Podge. When is that used rather than regular PVA? Okay,
PVA is the best.
Mod Podge is PVA. Yeah. Bonding MDF and PVC board. It's a bit of a git. One is a porous material, one isn't a porous material. Yeah. Glues that will vaguely attempt to do the job. PVA, hot glue, they will grip, but you can have problems. My best suggestion for bonding MDF and PVC board is a gel type super glue. Yeah, it will stick to both PVC and it will stick to MDF. It will soak in and it won't leave a gap between them. Hot glue can leave a gap between them because the PVC isn't porous. Yeah. So yeah, I would go with a gel type super glue. Also, the difference between Mod Podge and PVA. Mod Podge is PVA with a gel content in. You can get it as a glossy and matte form, and it can be stippled to create water effects, which is the main use of Mod Podge in terrain building. Yeah, but generally people I use Mod Podge also in a second. Yeah, generally people like to use Mod Podge for sticking down clump foliage because it's a gel glue. Yeah, it sort of bridges the gap between uneven surfaces. So when you've got a clump of Mod Podge, you can sort of bridge between your clump foliage and where you're gluing it to, mate.
Have you seen Mum right now? She's dying.
Right, what's your question? And have you washed your armpits today?
Mike, there's a
Come on,
Google
armpits.
Doc. Mike, there is a Google Doc where you can post your questions in the description.
If you're going to hold my mouth, can you hold my mouth like that? Oh, right, today.
It's a roller coaster outside. I'm hearing little kids screaming like, ah!
There's your mum's TV. Right, we're on 7 of 15. Half an hour into the show. A quick check. Kerry's going to be getting a box of Maltesers tonight. Colin's saying, watching on YouTube. In previous video, you stated that pre-made terrain damages the hobby due to terrain making skill loss. With so many companies now making terrain, do you still hold the view that pre-made terrain damages the hobby?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Maltesers. I heard Maltesers.
Yeah. The difference is we've adapted. You know, we now use our hobby skills to...
Everyone's sending in money to buy a big Malteser.
Not everyone's sending in money. You've had £1.
£2?
No, just the one.
I love Maltesers.
I know you do. Luckily, I've got £1, so I can go out and buy you a £1 box of Maltesers.
That's cool.
I did say the target was a pallet.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
You see, she would be happy with a pallet.
Or one bar.
Yeah. Or one bars, yeah.
A pallet is £1.
Yeah, so,
One bars, you get more.
right. Do you still hold the view that pre-made terrain damages the hobby? It's actually that's a difficult question to answer. Yeah, because I mean I've just sold 5,000 books on terrain making. It's hard to say that the hobby. I mean, the terrain making hobby is going through a glorious golden age. You know, it's exploding. But I do think that is a kickback to people having so much manufactured terrain and wanting the tables that used to inspire us as kids. You know what I mean? I suppose it'd be fair to say that having people making pre-made terrain and selling it as companies obviously damages the terrain making hobby. But on the other side, it vastly increases the amount of people who get into game making, and then it vastly increases the amount of people who come to proper terrain making, yeah, off the back of playing with the same buildings over and over again and wanting to customize them. Or, as I always say, wanting to play with hills. Oh yeah, who was that? Don't even know. Yeah, Jimmy's saying Mod Podge is a great sealant for foam builds. Black Magic Craft and Witchlock swear by it. It can, but I mean, one concern with Mod Podge is also warping. It's a strong PVA. Really, you're not eating an Easter egg alive on the screen. No chance. No chance.
Why not?
Because I'm not watching you stuff your gob with chocolate live on screen. So if you want to eat that, you can step off. No, step off properly, girl.
There you go, I'm off.
Yeah, so, yeah, I can understand it being used to seal. Yeah, but generally I don't because of the creep factor. Right. But yeah, I think there's no doubt that companies selling pre-made terrain does damage terrain making. But Can I speak without you chipping in, please?
Sorry.
Yeah, but as I say, it's bringing more people into the hobby. And that's bringing more people to terrain making, I think. So I think it's a 50-50 case. Oh, Gaz has sent us 5 nuggets. Thank you, buddy. She's having 1 bars tonight.
Why don't you give a Corbin's Easter egg?
Because it's Corbin's Easter egg.
You ate mine.
How about we give her yours?
I mean, I've already eaten mine.
Right, Mazda Varies Larson's got a request from my daughter, a Chinese style ruin. I think she's looking for something like a pagoda or something. Any tips or suggestions? Sarissa do a wonderful set of Japanese and Far East buildings, and they have a pagoda. So go check out Sarissa Precision. I think it's available at different scales, mate, so you should be absolutely fine.
Got Mum a gift.
Go take her a gift then. Yeah, James is watching on YouTube and is asking, what flocking glue do you use? I use watered down PVA.
Mum,
You'll hear me use...
for?
You'll hear me talk about PVA a lot. When it comes to materials, I always work on the basis of...
No, I'm not, it's not the egg, it's the Maltesers.
Yeah.
Happy with a new gift?
Well, thank you. That's great. I'd like to be happy with answering one question without being disturbed.
Hi.
So anyway, going back to the question, what flocking glue do you use? I use PVA, but I use... Can I answer one of these questions, please? Willow, upstairs now. Grab your kit, take it upstairs, take your whatchamacallit. You can pull that face all you want, young lady. Before you go, take your dishes out.
I was eating from a Malteser pot.
No, you weren't. You were jumping in on every single comment.
Well, yeah, only because I know how much you like PVA and I want the entire world to know, so I'm making it loud for you.
Oh, she's going to be trouble when she grows up. She's going to be so much trouble.
Be a stand-up comedian.
You don't need to stand up for that. Hey, YouTube viewers, come to the Twitch side. We have cookies and better quality streams.
Dad, will you shout her for the last 10 minutes if she goes upstairs now for a turn?
Yeah, she can come down for the last 5 minutes.
Around 5 minutes.
Last.
You know, she just loves being on the show.
I know, but Dad can't finish a sentence without her jumping in.
Right, go on.
I'm only saying PVA.
Don't let the door slam you on the way out. Right. Really? Right. Hopefully we've got a bit of calm for the last hour, eh? Right. So yeah, when it comes to glues and stuff like that, what I tend to do is I tend to use the most basic materials possible, especially for the YouTube videos, because if I start saying, right, I use Mod Podge for sealing things, yeah, then it starts to imply that you need Mod Podge to seal things. And you don't. You can seal things with a coat of paint. It's sealed. That's all it is. You know what I mean? Or you can seal it with a watered down washer, a filler. Yeah, or you can seal it with watered down PVA, because that's essentially all Mod Podge is. If you thin Mod Podge down to a watery, so you can coat it on and seal with it, it's just watered down PVA. You've got rid of the gel element. I used to call it posh modelling, but I tend to avoid posh modelling when I do my tutorials, because if I say you need this material, some people look at it and go, well, it's £10 a jar. You know what I mean? I can't afford that, and they won't do the terrain build. Oh, thank you, baby.
Let me just grab.
Mm.
Do you want any biscuits or anything?
No, thank you, Duck. We've seen Willow stuff her face on YouTube. They don't need to see me. Yeah, so yeah, I use PVA for a lot of things. I tend to use the simplest materials and use them for the majority of the jobs. Okay, John's asking a book question. How soon will the book be available to non-Kickstarter backers? Will it be available to buy without backing the Kickstarter? Yeah, backer kit will be open in 3 weeks. You can jump on the first print run then, mate. You won't be able to get any of the backer exclusive t-shirts and merch we're arranging, but you can get on and get, you know, the first print run. Otis from YouTube. Mel, trying to make some old-fashioned wooden fences using latex rubber gloves to put it on stain on yesterday. Do you have any techniques to make a jig to get the right amount of spacing pieces that go across lengthwise? That, Otis, rephrase that question. That just makes no sense to me. There's gloves, there's staining, there's jigs and spacing across lengthwise. That's like 4 different subjects, dude. You'll have to re-ask that question, matey. Right, 12 of 17, Max. Max is asking if I'd like photos of a model railroad show. There's no real need, mate. There's tons of photos of various shows, so don't worry about taking photos of shows for me. Especially model railroad shows, because I've got books full of them, you know. So, thank you, but you're cool. Okay, William's asking, this is a Kickstarter one. I signed up for the $1 and plan to up it when the manager opens. When do you think that will be opening? As I've just said, it's going to be opening in 3 weeks' time, roughly mid-May. Pledge manager will be open. Okay, 57 Dent. I backed the Kickstarter and I assume the pledge manager will contact me at some point, or do I need to log in to finalise everything? We should be sending out an update middle of May, letting you know that the backer kit is open, plus I'll be doing shout-outs and that sort of stuff. What was that, the last 4 questions? Right, Mick M, how would you go about flocking a night scene? I'm currently working on a moonlit scene and I'm struggling with the balance of too lively or too dark. Yeesh, yeah, that's a challenge, isn't it? I think, what you call it? I think you're going to have to stain your flock a specific colour, and you're going to... I mean, it's night colours, isn't it? Best thing I can suggest to you, mate, is literally go out at night and get some reference colours. Get some reference photos you can match up to of some scenes. Because, I mean, when you say flocking a night scene, yeah, are we talking a hunter's moon? I mean, when I used to be on X, I mean, with a hunter's moon, you can literally read a book at night in moonlight. Or is it, no moon, in which case it's complete pitch black. Also, what time of the month, what time of the year is it? Because that's going to affect the colour of the moon and the sort of light that you get off the moonlight. I mean, we've all seen a blood moon. That's going to affect the colour of the foliage and that sort of stuff. So, I think, to be truthful, mate, if you're gonna try and replicate something so specific, you need to go out and get reference photos. So you need to pick a night that you want to go out. I don't think this is something that you can go online and pick. Because when you go online, there's no reference to what the moonlight was like, what the sky was like. Was it a clear night? Was it an overcast night? They all affect things. Yeah, I think you need to pick a good night and then go get your photos and just simply work off those. Right. Next question. Question 16 of 19. I'm catching up. Right, from Gaz. Currently starting a new army project and hoping to do green etching on the bases of my army. Would the traditional black cork rocks and small stones with a grey... would the traditional black cork rocks and small stones with a grey highlight, what would be the best slightly fluffy green effect? You want a drab green. If you're going to go with a sort of grey and stony ground and you're going to go with a dark ground, then you don't want anything bright. Yeah, there'll be too much of a contrast. It'll look silly. So what you want is a drab green, an olive green, you can get it from Jarvis. Yeah, they do sell it, but they sell it in mixed bags, so you'll have to select it out. Let me see if I can find as a link. Drab green lichen modelling. Yeah, there's... Oh, I would go with Woodland Scenics medium green, mate. Woodland Scenics look to do an entire bag of the right colour. And yeah, medium green bag, Woodland Scenics, WL163. So reference is Whiskey Lima 163. That's the stuff you want, mate. Don't stray from the path. True. Oh, that's a good brew as well. I'm hoping the merch t-shirt will have clump foliage on. Who knows what it'll have on? I've got to design it yet. That's one of the jobs. I've been slowly writing my job list out. I've got 16 weeks to do this book. It's going to be a mental 16 weeks. JP's saying I would use desert scrubs and dead plants. Yeah, I hear what you're saying with the rocky material, but at the same time, in the question it was specific. I want green, so the yellowy browny of the desert and that sort of stuff I don't think would work. Cheers, Mel. Would it be worth using a material to give it a body? No, mate, no. Lichen will be quite fresh and spongy. Yeah, and if it's from Woodland Scenics, it'll be pre-treated with glycerol, so it won't dry out or anything. I don't think you're going to need that. If you want large bushes, yeah, don't try and... Lichen we use as a substructure to flock and do other things on, yeah? It doesn't stick to substructures well. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so at very best, maybe a large rock to proper clump against. Yeah, but no actual thing, something to stick it all to. It'll just look horrendous. Right, moving on to the questions, going through the Google Doc. Right, here's another question. A bit broken. Paid for a preformed cloud field to go on my layout as it's cardboard, after which putting it down it started curling up at the end. I did not glue it down. Because it's time to be able to remove the change of scenery. He likes to change his scenery. One thought I had was using OCD. Don't know what they are. Like your show when you did the radio to make... Right, that's not even a question. Okay, John, what kind of exclusive merch will be available to backers? Maybe beer bottle openers? Not sure just yet. The original plan was t-shirts and mugs. Yeah, because that seems to be the big ones. But we're doing it probably through Teespring or one of those sites or Spreadshirt. So what we can do is we can essentially come up with a design that you can apply to any of their merchandise. But to be perfectly honest, that's a job for week 2. For week 1. And next week is week 0, so I'll be deep delving onto that when I actually get into the merch side of things. Does my clump foliage look big on this board? Yes, Jimmy, it does. Ed's saying if you want to know the particular phases of a moon on a particular night, there's a link in the description in the chat. Natural or manscaped for clump and substructures. I don't know. I'm going to have to sit down. I'm going to have to give it some thought about the merch and that sort of stuff. See what we can come up with. So that's the merch question. On to question 19 of 20. We're coming up on the hour and I am running out of questions, guys. You know the drill. If I run out of questions after an hour, I finish early. Okay, Otis is asking of a way of making a jig to hold pieces while you were gluing them when making fences. To be perfectly honest, my favourite jigs are always made out of leather, mate. Not leather. Leather? Why did I say leather? Because I was saying jigs and I thought of Jez, and Jez is a leather worker. Jez, you're having a strange effect on me, man. Yeah? No, watch it. I use Lego for making my jigs because it's plastic and so PVA doesn't stick to it. So I can set things up, I can adjust things to where I want them. Yeah? It does mean that you have to work on, with the... if memory serves, Lego is built on a 6mm system. Each sort of each individual block with the nipple on, yeah, is 6mm across. And so you do have to work within that system measurement-wise, but it works really well. Yeah, 57 Dent is asking, more applicable to dioramas or model railroaders, but do you have any tutorials on painting sky cloud backdrops? No, I don't. Not a single one, to be truthful. But I was chatting with Fred before the Kickstarter about perhaps doing, you know, a really easy tutorial on making your own backdrops, you know, for taking photos and stuff like that, because Fred's a landscape painter. So there might be something coming in the future on that count. Terrain shooter boxes? I do not think so. Right, that is me pretty much caught up on the questions. We've got 10 minutes till the hour. Make sure I'm not missing anyone. Nope. Ooh, leather. Calm down, you lot. Right, Horst is saying, what shall I watch the film The Longest Day 10 times. It's a great film. The problem is that the film is in black and white, but my Normandy terrain board is in colour. I don't get the film atmosphere from my terrain board. You won't. Black and white is always, what shall it, more evocative and more emotional. Yeah, as a medium. That's why, you know, even, you know, that's why in horror movies they dumb down the colours. You know, so the colours don't distract. It's more moody, that sort of stuff. You could have done your terrain board in black and white. Yeah, I saw Salute 2016. Someone had done a Victorian steampunk vampire game, but they'd done it in, what you call it, in black and white and the tones between them. Yeah, so it looked like an old movie and it was brilliant. And it had that, what you call it, had that feeling to it. Mel's what side came out with the leather remark? I'll find yourself. Mel hasn't got the energy for that sort of stuff anymore. Jez is saying, hey, I resent that incident. I don't care if you resent it. It's what happened. What's the next con that you're going to? Right. Pete's asking. I don't know. There's a couple that come up sort of summertime, small ones in the Midlands, Phalanx. I'm not going to UK Games Expo. There's no War Games terrain there. There's no point. Yeah. So Phalanx probably. I mean, the next big ones are Derby Worlds, ChillCon, Warlord Open Day, but they're all October time. Yeah. I wouldn't mind hitting a 6mm. Oh, someone sent a, what do you call it, super chat. Nice one. Otis, thank you, buddy. Let's buy some chocolate. We're collecting donations to buy Kerry chocolates. Oh, thank you, Otis. Thank you, buddy. So yeah, let's have a look at the War Games event calendar and let's see what's going on. Right, so I'm on the British Historical Games Society. Yeah, moving on in May. What yeah, so. Cairns, postponed. Falkirk, Exmouth, too far. Beer and Pretzels weekend in Burton. Not really a thing. Pause, late see the new Fanaticus. Newark, Partisan. May 19th, Partisan could be a good one. Because that isn't too far away. I mean, it's Games Expo on end of May, start of June, but I won't be there. Broadsides in Kent, that's too far. Phalanx on June the 15th, so there's a good chance I'll be there. Valhalla, new venue of the Alderwood. I thought Alderwood Leisure Centre. I know that. Aldershot. I know that. I ain't going back Aldershot. I'm not going back Aldershot. I don't care if there's a War Games show there. I'm not going back Aldershot. Keo is gone. Let's have a look in July. There's Barrage, 7th of July. I'll probably be there because that's my local show. There's the Bovington show, but I won't be down. I won't be able to get down to the Bovington show. August. There's BritCon. I'd like to do that in August. But basically, we've got Partisan, Sunday, 19th of May. We've got Spartans, St. Helens, which is Phalanx, 15th of June. And then we've got Barrage on the 7th of July. So, there's 3 shows over the next 3 months that I am probably going to go visit. Everyone's asking me why. What's wrong with Aldershot? To be truthful, there's nothing wrong with Aldershot, but Aldershot was where the Royal Army Medical Corps Training Centre and HQ was based, and that's where I was, that's where I did all my training. And there's only so much time. There's only 2 things in Aldershot, medics and paras. And there's only so much time you can spend in Aldershot. Right. Very quickly, make sure I'm not missing anyone. We're coming up on the hour. I am just chatting. So yeah, they're my next 3 shows. Oh, we've had another 6 questions. I'm going to lock those off before you guys run crazy. Because I know they all... it's Rusted Beetle. It'll be 6 questions from Rusted Beetle. Any movie productions you would recommend for inspiration? Loads. Absolutely loads. Yeah, loads of films and stuff for inspiration. We can't watch a movie anymore, me and Kez, without her turning and pausing it and going, "Oh, look at that." I know what's wrong with Aldershot for you, Snake Boy. Calm down, Gazby. And anyway, it's wrapped around a scepter. Okay, Mike H is asking, I'm planning on doing a 2x2 snow theme board. What would be the best material to actually build it out of? The board itself. If you go for 2x2s, warping is an issue. You probably want a hard board and you will probably want to brace it, to be perfectly honest. That being said, there's a few companies that do modular, like MDF, sort of unwarpable boards. Foreground do a board, but they don't do it for sale. They do it just for themselves. I think TT Combat have a 2x2 tile system that you can get out of. But generally I do MDF and I batten it up, and then they're square. Pete, we'll catch up after once I'm back in the studio, mate. Don't worry about catching me at a show. With Armies of Parade, bro, this is from my Gaz. Yeah. With Armies on Parade boards, a yearly GW-backed event now, will we possibly see your process of putting a painted army onto the tabletop, such as the Chindits drink, on a specifically designed 2x2 board? Yeah. Do I do? Okay, I'll throw this one out there, yeah? this is one of the Kickstarter book things. Yeah, now as part of the Kickstarter, what I'm also doing is once I've finished writing the book, we're doing 50 Shades of Basing for the PDF. Now I think there's a vague possibility that what we could do is revisit the basing PDF in the future and perhaps pad it out to a full book. And there's one of those sections in the full book, it's a book on basing. You know, display boards would fit far better into something like that. So it's definitely something I'm looking at for the future. Not as something for a channel video, but maybe something that we could use to turn the PDF into a book. Yeah, I genuinely don't know. It's such early days and ideas are just getting thrown around and just getting jotted down to like, don't get distracted. Dave's constantly like, stay on the path, yeah, because we could do this, we could do that. You know me, yeah, and so Dave's been very good at keeping me on the path. And so, yeah, we could possibly see that. I'm just not sure what format you could see it in. Pardon me. Shake the rest of this chest off. Right, question 24 of 26. John McCain. I was hoping that more than one purchase will be available on the merch for backers so I can buy an extra for my friend who missed out. He had a card nightmare. Yeah, what you call it? You should be able to. You should be able to buy multiple items and stuff like that, mate. So don't worry about that. As far as I'm aware, we're not restricting it to one item per person. Yeah, all we're doing is making sure that only Kickstarter backers get the link for the shop. Yeah, there is a chance that, you know, someone could share it out and people could jump onto it, but we can readjust that if we become aware of it and push out a different link and that sort of stuff. But I'm hoping people will, you know, in the window that we open it, people will jump on, get whatever kit they want, and then we'll close that down. But it's my first sort of play with merch, so it's a nice little test bed for me to get comfortable with merch before, you know, we actually bring t-shirts to the channel for you guys. So, JP saying 3 weekends of awesome then. Avengers, then Star Wars Day, then Token. Can't have awesomeness in one weekend, I suppose. True. That's fine, buddy. All these ideas will be noted in the little book that you take everywhere. They already are, buddy. They already are. Right next to me. Welcome aboard, Otis. Jump on Patreon, buddy. Ed from Texas. Yeah, do you have a source for field fortifications, log structures? Is there any real difference between armies in World War II? Trying to make some decisions for different theatres. Yeah, there is difference between armies and, you know, what was done and different locations, but research will show that up. You know, there was a lot of concrete used in the Atlantic War, whereas the Japanese tended to use natural materials so they didn't have to shift concrete and metal through the jungle. So different theatres do present different supply issues. Africa, a lot of the stuff was sandbagged because they filled it with sand and rocks. Yeah. Water and that sort of stuff was not of a limited supply, but concrete and, you know, those sort of things in the African theatres were of a more limited supply because you'd have to ship it, you know what I mean, and all that sort of stuff. With regards to a good source for field fortifications, the Osprey books are always a good source. There's always the internet for reference, and if you have to do a good source for tutorials, I cover a load of different field fortifications in my Let's Make Battlefield Basics series. Nicholas is saying, I want your TTT hoodie. You can't have it, it's mine. It's keeping me warm. Oh, Jez is admitting to what he's been doing. That must mean the NDA is over. Right, next question. Inquisitive Beetle this time. Will you be back on Beasts of War while the backer kit is open to promote the book with updates later this year? I don't know. I know Dave, I think Dave, when the backer kit was open, he was interviewed by Skype. I don't think I'll travel to Beasts of War. Yeah, because... Apologies for this cold, guys. Yeah, I don't think I'll travel to Beasts of War, just simply because of the cost. Beasts of War, to do the filming, I think it was... 170. To go to Beasts of War without even factoring the food. In fact, let's factor in the food. Yeah, to go to Beasts of War, bare minimum. Yeah, for a couple of days filming is like £350. Yeah, in travel costs. Okay. To do an interview just to announce the back, I'm not sure if that's cost effective. So I'd have to chat with Dave about whether he wants me to go over, and perhaps chat to Warren about whether if I go over, I don't know, maybe I could do some work for them and negate some of the costs of the travelling. But what I don't want to do is spend that much money. That's a professional mic. You know what I mean? Also, it's the time out. Yeah, travelling to Beasts of War is essentially a day. Travelling back from Beasts of War is essentially a day. You know what I mean? The backer kit is going to be open when I'm supposed to be writing the book. So it's quite feasible that with daddy logistics and catching up with the family as well, I could lose a week just to do an interview at Beasts of War. You know, when you actually factor travelling over, doing the interview, travelling back the next day, you know, the admin in between and all that sort of stuff. So I don't think I will, to be truthful, unless we do it after I've finished writing the book, when I've got a bit of breathing space. That would actually work well, because I could tie it in with taking Kerry to Ireland. Jez is saying aye. So so you know, yeah, my moderator Jez, yeah, the leather worker, he spent, I'm not sure how many months, he'll let us know in the comments, but he spent the past couple of months working on Tolkien's movie. Yeah, he was muddying down and weathering all the soldiers on the horses and stuff like that. So he's been stomping around in the mud, literally stomping uniforms into the mud. He's been gagging to tell people, but he's been under a non-disclosure. But now it's come out and that sort of stuff, he can actually say he's worked on it. Congratulations, Jez. Awesome build. Absolutely awesome. Gareth is saying, I can take you in my hand luggage and feed you dry crackers. You're not taking me in a bag. I am not climbing into one of your bags, Gareth, because I know what you do for a living and I could end up anywhere in the world. No, I know your sort. Right, I am caught up with the comments. I'm going to jump into the chat for 10 minutes. We're 10 minutes past, so we'll do 10 minutes in the chat and wrap this up. Oh, I've got to shout at the girl. And Jace is saying, yeah, 7th of July is Barrage War Games show in Stafford. Yeah, I've got that one, Jace. We'll definitely do that one if you're up for it. I have a feeling my chat is frozen. Has Jez been leathering men up with mud? What type of Tolkien foam is this? Right. Congratulations, Jez. Really chuffed for you. Met Jez at Salute. Absolute top bloke. Right, let's call the Willow. Oh, daughter of mine. Last 5 minutes. Hello, my daughter.
Dad, I was watching Japanese Urban Legends.
That's revenge for earlier. Da-da-da-da. Plus, he made the horse rider's chest armour and braces. Nice one, Jez. You better now.
I was watching Scary Japanese Urban Legends and calm down and see.
Well, you shouldn't be watching scary Japanese urban legends, should you?
Yeah, but they're on Gotcha Life, so it's so calm.
Is Willow still doing anime stuff? Yes, she is, by the tons. It was December before last, a mad couple of weeks making armour, then a couple of weeks in the World War I trenches. So much mud. Total token nerd, it was a dream job. Nice one, Jez. Absolutely brilliant, mate. Nicholas is saying, good one, Mel. I thought that was good. No. Gary's saying, watch Willow jumped a mile. The old head at the bottom of the door works really well. Yeah, I did it on Corbin once and his knees came up to his chin and then he dropped. Yeah, you're alive. Willow jumped a mile. Oh, stop it. JP was like, that was awesome.
You're mean.
It's taking the steam out of it. Were you expected to come down and be, oh, look at me, drama, drama, drama. Oh, look at you pushing me away with your foot.
My stream.
Your stream.
My stream.
Your stream.
My stream.
Well, okay, you've got the stream now. Are you going to talk to him?
No.
And you're not going to talk to them because they're all
annoying them. I'm annoying them. I'm really annoying them. Annoying them.
Right, bugger off. On there, come on.
You just said, come on.
Okay, Slavic Boy, ATT, which is easier to bend, styrene tube or rod? Rod normally. Tube is braced, it braces itself. So rod normally bends easier than tube does. Are you got over that?
No.
The Willow takeover. She's not in any fit state to take over, are you? Okay, stop being a drama queen.
No. No.
No.
Stay away. Stay away from me.
Right.
Actually,
We are caught up on our questions. Yeah, one last check of the old PayPals.
Wait.
Willow, you will need to... I need to read the comments.
No, you can't. You can't
I need to read the
You
comments.
can't read that one.
Willow, you will need to come up with a way to scare your dad. Oh, she is always scaring her dad. And jumping on me and terrifying me and waking up.
I'm going to jump on you in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that stuff like that.
And I'm going to pour a bucket of water on you.
You see? They are. Payback, yeah.
Yeah. I need payback on my dad.
No, that was payback on you.
No, I need it on you.
No, that was payback on you.
No, I'm getting payback on you. This is going to happen for last
See,
time.
this is what I have to put up with. And so I'm going to wrap the show up now whilst my daughter taps me on my bald head. You won't see Willow again after this show. Ever.
Because she'll be on a new channel making more subscribers.
Ooh. Don't be giving her ideas.
Willow, you need to come up with ways.
I mean, you don't need to put an alarm clock under my bed set for 3 a.m. because you're awake at 3 a.m, aren't you?
Yeah.
Ah. Dirty stop-up when she had a sleepover. Set her alarm for after we'd gone bed. Yeah, so she could wake up with a mate. Right. I think we're going to wrap this up now. So, it's been a good show, hasn't it?
No.
No. Right, I'm going to catch you soon, guys.
Wait, Dad. For the best outro, can we try and do that lucky thing? So.
The lucky thing. We can't pull that off again.
Come on, we gotta try.
The best shot I had of my kids was when I put a blacked detail of Mike Myers' head on the outside corner of my daughter's bedroom window. You could have heard her scream from a mile away. That's brutal, cat. Right, we're going to call this now. I love that. Right, listen, thanks for joining me on this show. I hope the questions were useful, guys, as always. Yeah, we are back on Tuesday with the salute video. I'll be back. I may be in the studio on Thursday. We'll just have to see what's happening with the kids and that sort of stuff. 1 second, I'm talking. We may be back in the studio on Thursday because the kids are off for a week. So I've got the kids. So depending on whether I've got them, whether they're staying at my mum's, whether they're in the studio with me, not sure. The week after we will be back in the studio on Thursday. We should be. Yeah, moving forward, yeah, Tuesday we've got the salute video, Adepticon and me live streaming Thursday, hopefully, but we'll take it from there. Right, Willow, have you got something you want to say?
Yeah, but you can't hear it.
No, I can. This is my stream, so go on.
Can I just cover your ears? Those aren't properly covered. I'm going to put black face paint on my dad tonight. There you go.
So I'm going to avoid her putting black face paint on her dad tonight, and we'll call it a night, shall we? Right, catch you soon, folks. All the best. Ta-da. 1 second,